So now I'm going to think about how to put color on here. Now, if we look at my example that I've already added color to, you kind of notice light parts and dark parts, and that's something that we talked about last year, and we've sort of been trying to put that in our artwork ever since. That makes things look more realistic. And our last assignment in Plantzilla, we talked about that quite a bit as well. So what I want to do is I want to kind of put the lighter colors on there first, and then once they're dry, then I can work on top of them. So I have a watercolor set here, watercolor brush, bucket of water. So what I'm going to do is start putting some color in there, and I don't need to think about like finishing all of the color. So think about this as your first layer. So let's say I want to put a blue sky in there, okay? So I'm cleaning out my brush, running it over the edge of the bucket. I'm going to load it with that blue paint, and I'm going to start that across the top, the high part up there. A little more paint. Okay, but instead of sitting here and continuously loading my brush with paint and trying to cover everything, I'm just going to do a light wash of color. So I'm adding water to my brush, and then I'm going to pull the blue down towards the ground where the horizon line would be, where it would sort of disappear behind the mushroom and the bushes and stuff. And I'm going to sort of just blend that in and fade it away until it turns into the white of the paper. So you can see how it looks like everything sort of got some color to it, but I didn't spend a lot of time on that. And that's how I want to do most of the stuff here. So I'm going to work on big stuff and then little stuff. So the next biggest part would be the ground. So I've cleaned out my brush, run it over the edge of the bucket 2 times. You don't want to lose control of what your paint is doing. Oop, or drop your brush like I almost did. So too much water in your paint definitely means you're going to lose control of it. That looks like I could go a little darker, so I'm going to let some more of that green paint on there. So I'm going to do that on the horizon line there, on the horizon line here, here. And instead of filling my brush back in, and actually the house here would create a shadow on the ground probably. So I'm going to put some more color there so that would come out darker. All right, so instead of me loading more and more green on there, I'm just going to blend in the green that's already here, fading it away. Oops, I got a little bit on the gnome there. Y'all saw that, it's an accident. All right, so the thing is, this is the underpainting. So I'm going to be working on top of this paint later. If my paint quits moving, add a little bit of water. I would add a little, and then if you need more, of course, get more, because too much water means I'm going to lose control of what the paint's going to do. So I'm blending this into the rest of the paper. That looks like I could use some more water. Put that on there. If you can think of a reason why something should be darker, then I would go ahead and do it. Like for instance, I thought, well, it would be darker right there against the house because that would create a shadow on it. Probably be darker under this bush too. So I'm gonna put some more green there and put some more green under the gnome's feet. I think it would be darker there, so I'm gonna go ahead and add more paint. I'm gonna rinse out my brush, blend that darker part into the lighter part, and yes, I'm liking the way that looks. Okay. So then I'm going to think about colors for the mushroom here. And like in the book, it always seemed like it was red. I think I'm going to go with purple. I like the idea of using that. The thing is, I want the spots, or the circles there, the dots, to seem white. So I'm going to be careful to go around them. So I'm going to put more paint at the top here, but then I'm going to blend it. I'm going to pull down and sort of fade it away as I fill it in. So I'm not continuously loading my brush and reloading it, okay? So you're gonna be working on adding some color to yours. I'm gonna continue this and work down to the smaller stuff.